So what do I want to eat, honey? You want to eat Thai food? Western food? We got KFC, we've got like Pizza Hut, we have Thai food court. What do you want to eat?
I feel like something healthy.
Healthy. Okay. Chicken McNugget นะครับที่เป็นชุด French fry กับโค้กนะครับทานที่นี่ครับสายกลางนะครับถ้าเอากาแฟจากนู่นจะสั่งที่นี่หรือสั่งที่นั่น Man, it would be so good if I could choose my dream future like I choose off of a menu what kind of food I want to eat. It'd be kind of cool to say to God, hey God, I really don't want green tea because I don't like green tea, but Coke would be fine, fries would be fine, no Big Mac, God, but you know, life can become a little bit more complicated than that, and God's will sometimes is hard to figure out. But we've learned a few lessons, and we'd like to talk to you about some of the things that are on our heart for our future, and hopefully you'll learn a little bit more about us. This past year has been very difficult for us in a lot of ways. It's been a year of letting go and learning how to be led. I resigned my position as the leader of the field. I resigned as pastor of New Song, and I had this dream of growing this New Song work to something very beautiful. And I actually had to leave my house where I lived at because it was falling apart, and found that God was leading us in all kinds of new ways. And the strangest one was when I went to the doctor and found out that I had a brain tumor. And I found out that my future was very complicated. And so I did everything I could to find the best surgeon in the United States, and we went through a whole process of finding the right guy, and then found out that no, the insurance company was not going to cover anything in the United States. And then finding myself in Germany, a Dutch guy in Germany, having a 75-year-old surgeon who is from Iran, and wondering what the heck he's got up to. And through that whole process of 7 hours of surgery, 17 days in the hospital, finding out what it means to be surrendered to God, and learning how to live in a new way, learning how to live in the now. And that's a little bit about me and Pat, how we're learning how to figure out what God's vision is for our lives.
I guess my idea of what vision is all about is quite different. It's not so much a plan that I have for myself or how I want to see my life unravel. It's not so much a specific outcome that I want to have happen and the strategy to get there. For me, vision is actually how I see things, or how I see people. Asking God to show me how He sees things. It's more seeing than having a vision. And so part of that means looking at people in a very different way. And I have a very good friend, and he believes in this ability to unleash beauty, to look at a person, to recognize their X factor, their unique beauty, and then call that out of them, and actually enable them to live according to that unique beauty, the way they were born to be. So when we were in Germany, we watched a movie on TV. It was called The Fantastic Mr. Fox, and it's a story written by Roald Dahl, and I just love that movie. It was really very much what I'm about. This fox had a conflict, and he set out to resolve it, and in doing so, the other animals around him, they caught on, and they wanted to join and help him resolve this conflict. And so instead of trying to make everybody follow what he would have done, he looked at them, he recognized their unique ability, and then he did a really amazing thing. He started to call them not rabbit or not possum. He called them by the scientific name. I can't remember them, but the scientific name actually spoke into them their unique ability. So the rabbit's unique ability was jumping, and his scientific name calls that out. I think as we live and we look at the people around us, we locate their unique ability. That's the vision. And then we commission them in that, in this conflict or in this life, in this living out of life in community. And I got to see that in a really beautiful way when one of the young girls in our home group, she was pregnant when she came to us, and she was conflicted with whether to have an abortion. And up until 5 months in her pregnancy, she still hadn't decided whether to keep the baby or not. And we told her, we promised her, if you keep this baby, we will walk with you. You won't be a single mom, you will be a mom in community, and this will be our baby too. So she actually decided to have the baby. And it was a very difficult time when the baby was born because she didn't love it initially. And so we brought her to live in our house, and we hoped that we could love the baby and show her how to love a baby, that we could love her, be patient without judging her, and help her journey through that. Well, the amazing thing that happened was the people around us, our friends, there's a young girl who used to be a legal clerk in New York City who's here in Bangkok, and another designer architect from Indiana, she's here in Bangkok, and they hang out with us. So just through the process of hanging out with us, they started sleeping over at our house and taking shifts with the baby. I never even had to ask, but their unique abilities and their heart to live and to join in the resolution of this conflict in community. And I would commission them in their unique ability and in their unique beauty. And we saw an amazing, beautiful thing happen as these young women joined in, and they would get up in the middle of the night with the baby and change the dirty diaper and do the baths. And they would work shifts where they would take time coming off work and who was going to sleep in the room tonight. And so I guess that, in a way, reminds me of that great story, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, and our unique abilities.
After 17 days in a hospital, I guess I learned that I don't have a huge choice always in what my future is going to look like. But I learned a lot during those moments when I was in pain. I learned to worship God in the pain. I learned to trust. I learned to love what He had said in His Bible. I learned to live in the moment and not worry so much about the future. But if I could talk a little bit about the future, what I do want to do is always live in the now, live in the present, with eyes, like Pat had said, of seeing people around me, not as trees walking, but as real people, and be fully engaged in conversations. Of course, I've always loved youth and the new generation, and I want to give my heart and my life to that. But through this whole thing, I kind of feel like, man, I've been given a second chance. As you can see, the surgery was a success. At least I hope you can see that. And I just hope that the time I have on earth, the time I have in whatever country that God has for me, that I'll be able to use my life, living in the now, seeing what the Father is doing, seeing the handiwork of God, working in other people's lives, living my life in such a way that it causes other people's vision, other people's heartstrings, what's implanted already in God's heart, to see that come to fruition. Opportunities are knocking on our doors all the time. There's going to be some wonderful things happening this year, not only like here in Bangkok, but in the Hill Tribes, and in Africa there's an opportunity. There's just so many opportunities. But what I want for my life is just to have God's vision, which is seeing what He's doing and joining in. And so I hope that encourages you, and I want to say thank you so much for believing in us and praying for us. And